So, thank you for joining us for Song of the Day. I was trolling around the other day and looking for old songs of worship as I'm kind of running out. Could use some suggestions. And I came across an old Shane by Shane song that may not be complete. Burn burn us, Lord. And this is very true because in the end, all our works will be burnt up. And what remains is the good we've done for the Lord, and everything else is rubbish. And so the other will be rewarded. So I like this idea, and I'll bring you back to Shane's ideas when he began the song. So here you go.
So I read the story of Shadrach, Neshack, and Abindigo a few months ago. And I hadn't read that story in a long time. King Nebuchadnezzar, the whole fiery furnace story that we just grew up with, and I read the story again. These three guys who wouldn't bow down to this big, huge image of gold that this king had made in honor of himself. So literally, all the people,
the first king of Babylon,
heard this music play, they bow down and worship this image of gold, which probably was an image of him. And these three guys wouldn't do it, and they got brought to the king. And I don't know the story. They got brought to the king, and they're there in front of the king. And there was a line that they said that just moved my heart more than I had ever expected it to be. Reading this story, I was like, I'm going to return to, a childhood story. And I read this story, and they were before the king, and the king was like, bow down or I'll throw you in the fiery furnace. That's just how it is. And that's what I do to people who don't bow down. And they're like, well, we have a God who is able to deliver us. He's able. He's our Redeemer. And then they said this line, which captured me so much. They said, but even if he doesn't, we're not going to die. And it just, I don't know, I felt like there was such power. Because we all know the outcome of this story. They went in this fiery furnace, an angel shows up with them. They didn't get any burns. They came out. It says they didn't even smell like smoke. It's such a story of deliverance. But these three guys, that before they got delivered, said, we have a God who's able. But if he doesn't, he's no less able. He's no less our God, and we're not going to die. And so I had this chorus of this song that popped into my head, as I was thinking about it, and I've had it for months. And actually, just a few days ago, I came up with a verse. This song has a little bit more soul than usual, and the chorus that came to mind right when I read that story was this chorus. Burn us up, burn us up, burn us up, oh King, oh won't you burn us in the furnace of your desire. We give up, we give up, we give up, oh King, oh won't you burn us in the furnace of your desire. Oh won't you go and send the fire. I had this whole song, and that's all I had for months, is just a chorus. But I wanted to focus this whole song and tell the story of these three guys, but it was so hard because I didn't want to be like, how do you tell the story of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abindigo without saying Shadrach, Meshach, and Abindigo, or King Nebuchadnezzar? And so I just was in this dilemma of trying to fit these things in the story, and we came up with such a cool way of Shaney kind of being a narrator, just a guy in this room of this palace, in this scene of these men as they were confronted by the king, and they, in their confrontation with the king, and they just pledged their life to God. And they pledged their life. You can burn us up. Whatever you want to do with us, we're not going to die. We will burn for our Lord. And I wanted to be the crux of the song, that line, God, even if you don't burn. And so the whole storyline changes where, the king kind of confronts them. If you don't bow, you're going to burn. And then there's this big chorus that they're singing to the king: burn us up in the furnace of your desire, king. We give up to you. We're going to go, and we're going to go straight to the furnace for our God. If that's what it takes, we're going to do it. And then the narration kind of changes, and Shani talks about, the whole palace stopped when they're on the way to go burn in the furnace, and they turn their eyes to heaven, they turn their eyes to God, and they sing the same chorus: burn us up in the fire, and burn us up in the furnace of your desire. And it shifts to them, and then the crux of this song is, God, even if you don't, you are able, but even if you don't, we're going to burn for you. Whatever you have for us. It's kind of, even while I was singing, it kind of had some of that kind of Jesus at Gethsemane imagery. Take this, but your will be done, because I'm in. There's no plan B. I'm in. So it's been a really fun song just to kind of tell a story. We haven't told a lot of stories in the song, so it's been a fun song to tell a story.
Amazing creativity of a songwriter. Yet, I don't think that song ever got completed, as far as I know. So, you heard pretty much what the chorus was and how it went. Burn us up, and they were willing to stand before King Nebuchadnezzar to prove that God is true, and even so, to be absent from the body, to be present with the Lord. I hope you enjoyed that. May the Lord bless and keep you. Have a wonderful day, and share the Lord Jesus at every opportunity and chance you get with your friends and neighbors.